How's it going, Laser Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkilla, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today, I am going to be announcing that I will be working on my own visual novel. Starting about 3 months ago. I actually started working on it about 3 months ago, and I thought that you guys might be interested in some updates as we work through it and see how it all comes along. Today, we're just going to be going over my plans, my ideas, what programs I'm going to be using, what resources I'm going to be using, how much it's going to be costing, I suppose, and where it's going to be released and how it's going to be released, and all of that sort of jazz. For starters, I probably should let you know that I'm not a programmer. I have basically no programming experience. I am a computer technician, that's my day job, so I guess I have a background in computing. I did do a Visual Basic course about fucking 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. So, as far as the actual game idea goes, this will not surprise you at all, but I'm planning on working on a sci-fi thriller visual novel with puzzle elements. Shocker, I know. Never heard of that one before. But you know, being that that's what we do around here, I thought you guys might be interested in it. It's I've always wanted to make a game of my own, and it's not like I feel like I'm like qualified after playing so many of these kinds of games, but I'd like to try my hand at it, to be fair, and I think I could put something together. It's just given enough polishing time, you know what I mean? I don't know how long it's going to take. Like I said, I have been working at it for 3 months at this point. I really haven't got that much to show you at this stage, but I'll do that in a further devlog. At the moment, this is devlog 0, basically, just to let you know that it's happening and how I'm going about it, and we'll cover other things like UI and art and all that sort of stuff in the future if you're interested. So first of all, the tools that I'm going to be using, I am going to be building it in Ren'Py. Hardly any surprise there. It's free, it's pretty easy to use. It's taken me, it took me a good month or so to learn how to use the scripting properly in Ren'Py for like custom image maps, buttons, and for programming like puzzles and that sort of jazz, which I'll show you the puzzle design that I've got later on as well. Hang on to that one. We'll come back to that. Yeah, so Ren'Py will be the one. I will be releasing on itch and Steam. That will be the plan. I've already started making the Steam and itch pages, but they're not live yet, so I can't direct you to them just yet. But they will be coming in the near future. I've already paid up my Steamworks account. Just got to get all my tax stuff sorted. That's taken a while. As far as UI goes, I'm designing the UI myself. At this stage, I'm already on my second or possibly third iteration of the UI. I'm using Photoshop for most of that sort of stuff. So I designed my own UI in Photoshop. I think it looks pretty good, but I'll show you those in the future as well. Well, I'll show you the old one now, actually, on the screen. I'll be showing you things on the screen. I just don't know what they are yet, because at the moment I'm just recording myself, and I've got like a bunch of notes in front of me. So future me can put something interesting behind, or something. I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure something out. And I'm using DaVinci Resolve for cutscenes and that sort of stuff. For the splash screen, there's some cutscenes in there that are like to introduce different functions as they come up. That'll make more sense when we come around to it. Sound effects, I'm mostly using freesound.org, but also I am making sounds here myself because I've got a professional microphone which I use for YouTube, so that makes it easy to have access to like good quality recordings that I can make myself. My daughter enjoys making sound effects as well, which has been fun, you know. For special effects, I've been using Production Crate for a lot of them, most of them, possibly all of them. Production Crate is really good. I'll put a link in the description for that, so you can do fire effects, smoke, all kinds of things. I've got all kinds of stuff there. I think the transparent overlays for video footage can really add sort of a professionalism to the look of the visual novel, because it's less static then, there's things moving and all that sort of stuff. So we've got some of that implemented. As far as like art goes, the character models are being made in a program called Mannequin. I will show it here. It is a program on Steam. It's quite reasonably priced. I can't remember how much. It's about $20 or something. Editing me will put the proper price somewhere. And it's a little bit limited, but I don't have any art skills, like whatsoever. None whatsoever. But this does allow you to create characters with quite a huge range of different poses, facial expressions, clothes, all of that sort of stuff. And it also has Steam Workshop stuff, so you can download extra clothing and stuff like that that people have added to it. It's really, really good. It does have some problems, but I see it as a give and take. So one of the biggest drawbacks that it has is that there's no body types, apart from breast size for women. For the female characters, you can change breast size, which does actually change the silhouette of the body quite dramatically. But other than that, you can't really change the shape of the body. Like I've got I've got a character that's planned out to be like really buff, but you can't really make a buff character with this. So they're all standard. And I've got another character who was planned to be tall and gangly. You can't really make a character like that either. They're all sort of just one standard size, like I said. But it does come with the bonus that I can use basically as many poses or as many expressions as I want. Whereas normally you'd be limited by budget because each expression costs more money for every character sprite. Also, character art is expensive, so you'd be limited to a certain number of expressions. Whereas because I'm using this, I've actually got up to about 9 expressions per character at the moment, and it's easy just to add more. If I'm like, oh, I don't have an expression for this particular moment, I can just make another one. And it's really good because you can save expressions. You can build the character and save the character file as a Mannequin file, which you can load in later. You can save expressions. You can export them as PSD. You can export them as transparent PNG. You can export them as separate layers, like of all the parts, or all as one. You can export them, like I export mine at like a resolution of like 4K, which is huge, and then you can scale them for what you need, which means you're not losing any like real data, whereas getting small ones and then expanding them out obviously is not good for the look of the thing. But so I'm making the game in 1080p, but I'm rendering the characters out in 4K and then scaling them down, which I think is most likely to keep their quality. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, you let me know. I want it to look as good as possible. Like, these don't look as good as hand-drawn characters. It's a compromise that I'm going to have to make, I think, at this stage anyway. Also, there's going to be no voice acting. Another one of those budget-based compromises. At the moment, I've got the dialogue beep, you know, like Undertale or like Birth Me Code, you know, that da-da-da-da-da noise when they're talking. I've got different ones for each character, just to, you know, give them a unique feel and a unique sound. We've got seven characters to start with, at least, and I'm really enjoying the way it's coming together. I've still got a lot of writing to do. It's got a long way to go. But at the moment, it's taking a lot of time to do the choreography for the characters, you know, adding in the character expressions, the side image. Like if a character's not on, because you might have like 7 characters all having a conversation at the same time, which means you've got to switch between characters and change the side images up and change the expressions all the time between the characters so that, you know, the conversation flows naturally and it feels right, you know what I mean? So that's taken a lot of time. I write the script, I write a bunch of script, like maybe a few hundred words, and then I go through and I do all the choreography for it, changing scenes, changing characters, expressions, and all that sort of jazz. And that has taken a lot of time. As far as background art and CGs go, CG scenes, I am outsourcing those. I have an artist that I've hired to do background art. They do some amazing work. I'll actually show you some of their old work on the screen now. Some of their previous work, not for this. This is not for this project. This is previous work that I hired them based on. So they're doing backgrounds for me. They're doing all the backgrounds. As far as CG scenes go, I still need to find an artist. So if you're a budding artist, feel free to hit me up and show me your portfolio and give me some prices, because I still need to find a good CG artist that'll fit the style, because I got quite a few CGs to make before I can even release a demo, and I will be releasing a demo sometime in the near-ish future, hopefully before the end of the year anyway. but that'll be hinging on getting backgrounds done, because that's taking some time, and getting someone to do the CGs, which will take probably even more time. And that's where the majority of the budget is going. Also, as far as music goes, I'm using quite a bit of music from Free Stock Music at the moment. I found quite a bit there that is really fitting for this, but I'd like to hire a composer to at least do some music, at least like title screens and maybe credits and that sort of stuff. The ambient stuff I've got in the game now seems pretty fine, but I would like to hire a composer as well, but I'll get around to that at some point as well. But I won't need that for like the entire score, and I wouldn't have the budget to allow for it anyway, to be fair. If you are a CG artist and you're interested, you can hit me up on the Discord server, which will be linked in the description, or you can hit me up on my business email, which is well, it's on the channel under the About Me page. But you know, we can chat about pricing, or if I think that's the sort of style. Like, I'm after a very specific kind of style. That's kind of the problem, which is why it's making it difficult. That's why it was so hard to find a background artist that I really wanted to use as well, because I wanted a very specific look, you know. But you know, I don't mind paying good money for it. It just needs to be just right, you know what I mean? On top of that, I'd like to shout out a few YouTubers. Most of them are much bigger than me anyway, but I'd like to shout them out anyway, for being the ones that I used primarily for tutorials when I started to get to grips with RenPy, and for more advanced stuff. And their links will be in the description. So there's VimislikArt, who is fantastic. Definitely check that channel out. It's only got 1,000 or so subscribers. It's so good for like advanced RenPy techniques and plugins and things of that nature. It's so good, so good. Then there's Zeil Learnings and Elaine, who are both have both done basic RenPy tutorials and stuff like that, which was good to like really start to get to grips with it when I first started, because I didn't really have any idea about it. I just decided this is what I wanted to do, so so I just got stuck into it, you know what I mean? But they've been absolutely essential, and the links for all those channels will be in the description too. And that, I think, is about it. Make sure you let me know if you've got any questions down below. If you're interested in seeing more, I would love to show you more. But for now, that's all I have to say. That is the 0th devlog. I need to get back to writing now and making more expressions for characters. So yeah, if you're interested to help out, of course we have the Patreon. The Patreon is towards the channel, but it's towards all the projects that I'm working on. You know what I mean? It helps out. It all helps out. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.